I say, if you don't like the changes that we've made, I say, the door is open and you can leave.
The UK is not a place that I want to raise a family. It is not a place that I want to settle. It's not a place that I want my kids to go to school. It's not a place that I want my kids to go out and play on the streets.
I'm so done, honestly. I'm done with my life in the UK.
The UK will suck the living daylights out of you.
Wow. I have seen the light. I have decided I don't want to live here anymore.
The UK makes it impossible for you to live your life.
Welcome back to Unfiltered Brits. More and more people are asking the same question. Is it time to leave the UK? With rising living costs, collapsing services, and a sense that the country's going backwards, many Brits are reaching a breaking point. Some are planning their exit, others have already left. The situation is getting out of control, and I am honestly not surprised people want to leave. Let me know in the comments if there's hope for Britain, or are we officially doomed? Hit the like button, subscribe if you're tired of all of this madness. Now let's get into what the people of Britain are really saying.
Hit the like button, guys, right?
I have officially quit my full-time career job to lead the UK. I'm 24 and I've wanted to do this for a very long time because I just feel like the UK for me at the moment hasn't got much to offer in terms of career progression, housing. The rent is ridiculous.
Yep.
I'm living at parents' house at 24 years old because I had to move back home after renting for a bit because it was just extortionate and I could not put any money aside. And I was working 9 to 5, basically. I work shifts, but I was working like 40-hour weeks for no benefits. I was getting nothing out of this. And I have a long-term relationship as well, and both of us combined was still not enough to rent.
Is this
and
in
just
London?
Be able to go on holiday and stuff, which is ultimately what you want. You want to be able to enjoy life if you're actually working so much. And I'm not saying I didn't enjoy life, but I couldn't afford the things that I actually wanted to do. So I moved home and I decided that I'm going to save my money for a few months, which is a privilege in itself because I know a lot of people can't afford, don't have that opportunity to move home. But it comes with its own challenges, obviously. Saved my money for a few months and I have decided that I'm actually leaving the UK in June, which is a massive, massive step. And it's very, very scary because I've lived here for so long now, but it's actually time. And I feel like so many people are doing that.
Someone commented, I feel the UK has no work-life balance like some other countries do. Yes, we earn more, but our cost of living is much higher too. People might be earning less in other countries, but they seem more communal.
Yep.
Comment down below what you think. Is there a sense of community in the UK?
Oh,
and
please,
is it the same?
come off it. A sense of community does not exist. You can live in the same neighborhood with a bunch of people that you know they've lived there for 15 years. You couldn't even say that, not even one. You couldn't even say 2 people's names. A sense of community doesn't exist. Everyone's depressed. Everyone's on their phone. Everyone is like, the UK is like living in a horror movie because the sky is always grey. It's always rainy. And then people are scared to go out on the street because the crime is too crazy. I mean,
as other countries.
Let me know your thoughts in the comment section.
Woo. So why I left the UK? Where do I start? Reason number 1. The UK will suck the living daylights out of you. I'm saying Glock 3000, double spin, twister, it will do all of that to you, bro. It's the type of place that, for me, I feel like I got out of uni thinking, okay, yeah, I've got my degree now, I'm going to be flying high. But I don't want to go corporate. So if I don't want to go corporate, what else is there for me to do? I want to do music, I want to do content, but that's not sustainable because I'm not there yet. So what do? I go get a job. And I feel like the moment I got myself like into the 9 to 5 when I was working that specific 9 to 5, it was Amazon. Yes, Amazon. You know how it is. You're working 10 hours a day, 8 to 6:30 a.m. Bro, by the time you even find sleep, in the day, you're already starting the next shift. So imagine running that race for about a year and some change. You're going to fall into depression, bro. Like, you can't see yourself progressing because the cost of living is getting higher and you're kind of dependent on the job. So then it's just like, bro, what am I doing here?
The UK is not a place that I want to raise a family. It is not a place that I want to settle. It's not a place that I want my kids to go to school. It's not a place that I want my kids to go out and play on the streets. It's not a place where I want my teenagers to go out on the road. I want my children to grow up in an area where they are free, where they are safe, and the UK is just point blank not it anymore. So I guess I'm coming to the internet to ask for a little bit of advice. We did have this idea last year. We looked into it after we visited Lanzarote, and we looked into moving to Lanzarote. And all I'm going to say is all of the information that is out there and all of the information that I got from people that I have asked is you either have to be Irish or you have to have thousands, hundreds of thousands of pounds in the bank, both of which are just not possible for us. So I feel like I'm coming to the internet to ask if anybody has any advice on where we get started. I don't care if it takes 12 months. I don't care if it takes 2 years. I don't care if it takes 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want to get the hell out of this country at some point and start raising my children somewhere where I feel like we are going to have a better quality of life. They are going to have a better quality of life. And yeah, I just want to get started. I want to know where I get started. I want to know how I get started. I want to know somewhere that's going to give me the information that's not ridiculously like overwhelming and gibberish. So if anybody can help, that would be really, really helpful. Because I'm ready to get out of this hell of a country.
Living in the UK is such a joke. Why is it that all we do is work, work, work? We go home, we go to bed, but we have little enjoyment time. What is it with this world? Everything fucking costs millions of pounds, literally. It appears to me when I see people abroad, they seem to be happier just living a simple, basic life. But here we're so consumed. We must have a house. We must have a car. We must pay off our mortgage.
You must get into debt and but when he said you must have a house, she meant basically you must property ladder. All my days, I just moved in, property ladder. You don't know what you just signed up for. And I have so many people backing up mortgage. It's the best thing that's ever. And then when you dig into a bit of their background, you see they seem to be well off or in a decent enough situation to be able to afford a mortgage.
I don't want to talk too much, man. For what? What then happens at the end? It feels like we are stuck in a rat race. We're just going around that freaking hamster wheel with a rat, with a freaking mouse, constantly chasing the tail. I don't know about anyone else. I'm just exhausted from this bullshit. I'm just exhausted. It feels like from every direction, all we do is get shafted in every possible way. Cost of living is going up. This is expensive, that is expensive.
You're getting screwed in so many angles.
Freaking going round in the same fucking circle. Something has to be easier than this shit.
Having a real emotional moment, a pinch me moment of how far we've come. We left the UK in December 2023 because we were drowning. We didn't spend any time with our kids. We worked all of the time. The bills were going up. Car insurance was going up. Tesco shops were going up. And we had to work more to earn more, to live the life that we had created. And quite frankly, we just had enough. And I was pregnant with my third baby. And I thought, how am I going to cope with another child and spend time with my kids and be a good mother, be a good wife, and run a house, work, earn money? And quite frankly, it's impossible. I think the UK makes it impossible for you to live your life. So we left. And this is now our life.
That's crazy.
We've moved to Bali. Well, we're travelling the world, but we're stopping in Bali for a year. And we earn money passively.
For a year, they earn money passively. I wonder what they do to be able to earn the money passively. You know, if she's going to speak into it, hopefully. So it gives and helps people out in the comment section down below. But if you've got an idea, also let me know in the comment section down below. So far, what do you think about this? Because we're currently in the UK, and I can't lie to you, even I'm thinking of leaving. You might want to consider. I don't know.
We have passive income. We don't do a 9 to 5. We get to spend time with our kids. We have a private beach cabana today, a secluded beach, and we've just spent the day together being present. It's wholesome, it's lovely, and everyone says to me, the grass isn't greener. Now I'm here to tell you, this is our grass, and it is greener.
Like, there genuinely might be no benefit staying here long term. Let me break it down for you. All my friends or anyone that I've spoken to that has moved abroad and left the UK, it's like a third eye has opened here and they've seen the world in a different light. Now here it comes down to one simple thing: quality of life. Now we know the UK is notoriously expensive. Now yes, that's an issue, but that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is what you're getting in return. Let me just give you an example. A 2-bedroom apartment, meaty, just a normal apartment, you're paying about 1,600, 1,700 minimum. That's without bills, that's without council tax, might not even come with parking, doesn't include security, doesn't include a gym, doesn't include a swimming pool. And even if it did include a swimming pool, you're never going to use it because look at the weather. I'll take 1,600, 1,700 and just look at apartments in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Doha, Thailand, Bali. Bro, genuinely you might cry, I'll be honest. And that price is even a stretch. You can get a proper nice apartment not far from the city centre with security, gym, parking, swimming pool, beautiful weather, nice people. Let's not talk about the people here either. All for the exact same price or much, much, much cheaper. Yes. And look at other factors as well. Security, not really there. Economy, cost of living seems to be going up. Salaries aren't matching that. What's that about?
There's a lot of people slagging the UK off at the minute, and rightly so, to be honest. There's a lot of things fucking wrong with it. There's a lot of reasons to get out. There's a lot of reasons to want to live somewhere else, but most people are stuck. They've got a family or a mortgage or a job that they can't quit because everything else will fall apart. Car on finance, everything's tied in.
Crazy.
But if you are single,
I don't know how many young people that come up to me, should I get a car on finance? I tell them no. They end up getting a car on finance. 1 year, less than a year later, they start regretting it. And they still want to get on the property ladder. Oh, I want me mortgage so I can pay off my house at 69 years old.
And you can get
Bro, people
work.
are not thinking.
You can earn.
Is it just me? Let me know in the comment section down below if I'm going crazy.
Pretty much anywhere else in the fucking world and live as the top sort of 5% would in that country in relative luxury, to be honest with you. I mean, at the minute, I'm earning about £1,500 UK and I'm living in Thailand and I'm spending pretty much all of that each month. I've got a fucking brand new scooter, nice apartment with a gym, a sauna and a pool, and I do what I want and I eat out every day.
Leaving the UK has been the best decision I've ever made for my health because the UK was quite literally making me sick. I thought that I had all of these autoimmune diseases when I was living in the UK because I was constantly tired and fatigued, I was constantly getting ill, I constantly had anxiety, I just didn't feel my best self despite being somebody who is always health conscious, always eating the right things, always going to the gym, always getting 8 hours of sleep. And it was so draining to a point that I was focusing on my health so much and wasn't really getting the results that I should have been. And it was just frustrating me so much and giving me even more anxiety because I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? I had severe acne. I struggled with bloating because my cortisol was so high. Yes, I went to the gym, but it was really difficult to get my steps in because, you know, walking in the UK is not where it's at. It's so freezing. And since leaving the UK, I'm doing like 20,000 steps every single day. My skin is the softest and clearest it's ever been. This is just scarring. Like, I had such bad acne, you can see from the scar in here. I am the skinniest I've been in years. I have so much energy. I never thought I would have this amount of energy. Food. I just put it down to I'm just not somebody who's got a lot of energy, despite, you know, getting 8 hours of sleep and trying to stay off my phone before I go to sleep and stuff. I just always felt drained and tired, and I just kind of gave up on that. I thought, okay, that's just me as a person. Not here. I can work until late at night. I can get up early in the morning. I feel fresh. Doesn't matter. Like, even if I get less sleep now, I'm still got the energy because I'm constantly outside. I'm constantly getting fresh air, sunlight. And that's just reason 101 why the UK is just such a depressing place to live in. And because it is like that and because it is so miserable, it is affecting your health and your body in so many ways that you probably didn't even realise.
Everyone is leaving the UK. I will next year as well, and you should consider it too. Here's why. Number one, it's a poor country. Most people have this misconception that the UK is a rich country, when in reality, it's quite poor. The average income is like 30 grand a year. And if you're in the top 1%, you're only making 200 grand a year. Which, to put into perspective, to be in the top 1% in the US, you have to be making somewhere like $700,000 a year, which is like still £600,000 a year. second reason, the most overriding reason, is the deprecating nature of society in the UK. Basically, everyone bringing each other down rather than inspiring each other and saying that you can accomplish your dreams and goals and whatever you want to do. I was a victim of the same thing. I was trying to be different from like the age of 14, trying to run businesses and shit. And most people looked down on me for it until I started making actual money off of it. Now they come to me and ask me about it. But why isn't that the attitude in the beginning? So this is why most people leave.
Someone in the comments said, "It's poor because we're throwing all our money in the toilet." What's your thoughts on this? Drop a comment down below.
So many young Brits are moving from the UK to Australia, and here is why. First point is the UK is just shit. The UK is a mess right now. Yeah, people are wanting to get out. Number two is Australia is one of the easiest countries you can move to. You can move there on a working holiday visa. If you're between the ages of 18 and 35, for 3 years now, it is so easy to move to Australia. Number three is because people know that they can get a higher wage and a much higher quality of life in Australia compared to the UK. And when you put it on paper, you're going to get paid way more and live a way better quality of life. Couple that with the state that the UK is in right now, you can honestly see why so many people are leaving the UK for Australia. I did it myself 3 years ago, and it was the best decision I ever made.
I'm so done. Honestly, I'm done with my life in the UK. I've booked a one-way ticket back to Thailand. I'm 32. I'm single. I live on my own and I work from home. And I've been living the same life, the same day on repeat for 6 years inside these four walls every single day. And I finally cracked. I just can't do the same day anymore.
My time in this country has come to an end. I have seen the light. I have decided I don't want to live here anymore. And this isn't even a joke. This isn't one of those like I can't be here. Like I'm being so serious, and I am going to make the necessary steps to leave this country. For many reasons, but number one reason is I don't want to like constantly feel like I have to escape my reality to enjoy my life. Like I don't want to have to wait for a holiday, wait for this, I want every day of my life to feel like I'm enjoying my life because and yeah, this is just like, this isn't it. Once you start traveling, once you start experiencing the world and what the world has to offer and like realizing what you want in life, you start to realize this is not it. Like, people are bad vibes, the weather is horrible, everything is expensive. Sure, my family and my friends are here, but I'm not going to stay here because of my family and friends, you know?
If you didn't think that Great Britain had fallen, you will do at the end of this video. I bet many of you haven't heard about the shit show that's going on in Birmingham right now. And for those of you that aren't following me from the UK, maybe over in the States, Birmingham is dead centre of the UK. And this is a sign of what's happening, and it's what's coming to the rest of the UK. Check this shit out. So for those of you that didn't know, the bin men in Birmingham have gone on strike. They're arguing about pay and working standards. Here's an image of a police officer, by the looks of it, allegedly striking one of these bin men. Now, you want to see the streets of Birmingham. I was listening to the radio earlier today, and there was a guy there that goes and gets, it's like rent-a-kill. He gets the rats and things. And he says he doesn't think this is going to end until August or September. Check some images of the streets of Birmingham out. The refuse and bin bags are piling up. The bin men ain't collecting them. People are talking about rats the size of small dogs running around the streets. Here's another image. This is the second capital of the UK. Anything happens to London, Birmingham becomes the capital of the UK. It is a shithole. And there's even more. So, as the weather warms up, things are only going to get worse.
Yep.
There is a real risk that you're going to see some disease and vermin flying through the streets of Birmingham, maybe into other parts of the West Midlands. The councils are charging more council tax. People are getting less services. The bin men are now going on strike because they want more money. And I tell you what, is this the start of the end of Great Britain? What an absolute shower of shit.
Oh, my days.
This is an absolute clown show. Landlords are now being offered money to house migrants for 5-year contracts.
Wow.
The Home Office has launched a new initiative for private landlords to house channel migrants. Serco, which are the private contractor working with the Home Office on this. Now, of course, the funding for it will come from, well, you guessed it, us, the taxpayers. As an accidental landlord myself, and I only own one home, by the way, I rent this out because I don't fancy living where it is. I'm a tenant in my current house, so I get to look at this nonsense from both sides. And even I, as a landlord, am tempted. So, as a struggling landlord, because there is literally no profit in the private rental sector, after successive governments have withdrawn pretty much every incentive, imagine being offered a higher rent, which I suspect will be the case as it has been thus far. Imagine being offered what will inevitably be a guaranteed rent over 5 years, with the promise that the place will be left in good order on its return. And unlike in the case of the Renters Reform Bill, which went through the committee stage this week, you as a landlord, by the sound of it, won't be saddled with the tenants forever unless you want to sell. And if you do plan to sell and usurp your tenants, then if the sale falls through and you won't find yourself having to fund an empty property for 12 months, because those will be the new rules when the new Renters Reform Bill becomes an act later this year. The exodus of private landlords will be put on hold for the next 5 years at least, whilst they take advantage of the scheme on offer. As a landlord, this proposition, well, it's music to my ears. Why wouldn't I, or any other landlord, not just kick out their current tenants whilst they still can, and then use and take one of these asylum contracts? The problem here is that not only does this have the ability to raise the cost of renting, but it means that those currently in private rented accommodation could end up on the streets. And as we know, whilst the benefit system can be very generous if you play it right, there's a queue for homes and British people are at the back of it and pay for the privilege to be there. So, alongside smashing the gangs, Labour promised to empty the migrant hotels, gaslighting you and I into believing that this meant that there would be fewer migrants. Instead, it is clear that what they actually meant by reducing the use of hotels, which hasn't happened either because the number has gone up, what they actually meant was that they would perform more of a shuffling of the deck chairs exercise, taking homes away from British people who've lived, worked and paid tax here in favour of illegal migrants.
So the UK government is now dishing out 5-year guaranteed rent contracts to private landlords, not for ordinary Brits, not for young families, but for asylum seekers.
Yes, that's just I can't even lie. That's insane. We're effed. The weather is anyway. The only reason why this island, if I call it an island, was bearable was because of the highly civilized culture, economic property. Take that away, we've got nothing. 273 now likes. We're all slaves. This is done by design. We own nothing. Miserable. Don't just do TikToks, all YouTube streams. Oof. Wow. Are your MPs and make for us again? Yep. You know what? I could just guess it. All of it is yeah. We're all on the same side. Reading the exact same thing. It's a shame, but this is the channel we're watching. Look, I want to hear from you more so because I can just carry on complaining about the whole craziness that's going on. Okay? But I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts? How do we resolve this? And is it possible for us to get the UK back? Let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Oh my days.